Hello everybody, welcome to another day in Shroud of the Avatar, and it's finally Release 50, so that's the 50th monthly release of the game. So let's see what's in store for us. Now, basically, we've got some nice starting pictures here. Some wolves are going to change and such like, and here we are at the beginning. Now basically they've done some more polishing in the starting zones of Love, Truth and Courage. They've basically just added a lot of extra targets, but lowered their attack ability, so you won't get overwhelmed, but there'll be items or a lot more spawning in the zone, so it should make certain that you always have a target. They've added an extra few quests in the zones to help people learn the game, and also Arabella's, or the Isle of Storms, has changed a little bit. They've greyed out some items that are not needed in that zone to make it easier for people to go through, and now they're asked to learn how to jump in the game. So that's through all of the starting zones. There are some basic quests, and they've, as I say, changed the spawn rate and the amounts of targets, but lowered their aggressiveness, if you like, to make it easy to take them down, to make certain that there's plenty of enemies to kill. So, and then we come through to the scene rebuilds in the game. So they've added or uncloned South Drakvald Spur. So it's a two-tier zone scene in the Drakvald region, and is one of the very last lower tier zones to be rebuilt. It is arid, hilly area once populated by powerful equestrian people whose culture has been lost through the ravages of the cataclysm. Their horse carvings can still be seen in the region, and rumours abound of ghostly horses that appear at night. So I thought we'd have a quick look at that in game. So I've got the game loaded in here, and we're just on the Vauban Pass side. So if I bring up the map so we can easily see where it is, you've got Brittany over here, and then you've got Vauban Pass here, and the new area, of course, is up here. So let's go back into the game, and we can take the trip from Vauban Pass. It's just up the path. And it's the first scene you come across, on the road at least. So here we are, and I'm just going to have a quick look in the instance. It's a two-tier area, so all players should be able to do it. And as you can see, you've got a band of people here where there is a quest that you can do with them. I thought we'd just have a quick look at the main part of the scene. So it's a nice large area, so with lots of pillars in them. So, and there are some horses in here. They're not spawning for me now, but I have seen them. So, and so that's that zone. So what we'll do is go back to the desktop, and then what we can do is, next area is the Sunless Barrens. This area is located in the Hellfire Rift between Jade River and Black Blade Mountains in the South Palladius region. Its name comes from the steam coming from the lava of the Hellfire Rift, which cuts through the rocks of Novia and pours into the Bay of Storms. Geysers, lava flows, Ebon-dawn cultists, fire elementals and plunderers are amongst the dangers that await travellers in the perilous area. we also introduced a new NPC type. Keep your eyes out peeled for the lava golems along the scene's treacherous lava flows. Even before the cataclysm, this area was rich in mineral deposits, and efforts to extract those continue to this day despite many obstacles. So let's go and have a look at that in the game now. And here we are. Now, Sunless Barrens is just east of Janiford, up here, and of course you've got the lava rift flowing down here. And if we bring up the map of the game, we can see we've got Brittany up here, Nightshade Pass, we've got Janiford over there, and of course it's just located just here. So let's have a quick look inside what it looks like. There we go. And I'm actually going to take the west entrance. Let's say the zone is a big desert area, and of course we've read the description, but I thought I'd just show you some of the geezers in the game. They look quite cool. They're just ahead of us. We should get one up. There we go. There they all go actually. Looks quite cool really. So that's the Sunless Barrens. Let's say sunless because of all of the steam in the zone. Now let's go back to the notes. And the final place, well, one of the other places that they've done was the City of Yew. The elven City of Yew has been shielded from outsiders by nearly a constant shroud of fog on the overworld that only clears during certain alignments of the heavenly bodies. The city itself is full of wonderful elven architecture, and because of the natural foggy defences, has been fortified. Yew was once a clone of Janiford, but has been completely rebuilt in R50, and all the player-owned locations are still the same. They've only changed the central area of the town. So let's go and have a look at Yew. So here we find ourselves outside of Yew. As you can see, it's got a misty enveloping thingy over the town name. If you didn't know it was there, of course you wouldn't know. But Yew is located in the North Ladies region, just outside Sanctus Spine to the left, and Brittany is down in this location, so you can take the path around to get that. Or of course you've got Airy down here to go from that side. So it's relatively easy to find, and when you're on the map, of course, you'll see the big cloud above it. So let's go and have a quick look at the entrance. And as you can see, it's a nice green area. That's the colour. It's been an elven town. It's got a lot of natural architecture. And just go up to the Elven Guard. See, it's got Elven Town, so it should be interesting to look, and there's possibly some quests going to be in there. So let's have a look at our next thing. If we go on to the notes, it talks about this item called the Jack of Diamonds. High above Novia flies the Jack of Diamonds, an airship shrouded in mystery, but known to be a safe haven for the disreputable types. Rumours suggest that a black market offence on board who accepts certain undelivered mail packages and letters that would have been turned in to the town crier. This flying den of thieves never lands, but sometimes allows those with poor reputation to board vast smaller balloon shuttles found on the docks of Airy, Brittany Alleys, Blood Bay, Graph Island and the City of Mud. So what I'll do now is I will take us to one of those locations and we can see the boarding balloons. So here's one of the places that the boarding balloons are at, Brittany Alleys, and so we will go to the North Docks. And here we are on the North Docks, and if we look up we can see a balloon with the diamonds going around it. If you clue, it's the balloon to the Jack of Diamonds, and if we put our mouse over the point where we would go up in the balloon, it says contact bouncer for permission, so we have to talk to this guy here. So that'd be interesting for us to find out how we do that and what we find up there. So let's go back to the notes. So what we've got next, some side quests. Now it talks about the highlighting that we've discussed about before. On your overhead you now have more highlighting symbols to help you towards the quests and the special areas in the game. So like the Witch's Solution can be found in North Midmere Way, and it talks about quest locations, which repeats pretty much what it says above. Now there's the new Truth Boot quest, which starts in the Sunless Barrens. The Love Boot quest starts in Drakbold Spur, and the Courage Boot quest is in Airy. Then there's Kroll's Secrets, which seems to be a blacksmith who's somewhere around. I'm not certain how you find him. They talk about Eastern Midmere. I can't find an area called that, so I don't quite know about Kroll's Secret. It will be a secret that we'll have to find out, but he could teach us the spin emote. Frugal Enthusiast is somewhere in U, and well, that's where you get one of the boots. So we've got Say It With Love, Mail has been fixed, Town Crier, Checklist, some seam polishers in Owl's Head and some of these other places. Siege's Lunar Rifts will bypass Siege. Siege's not clearing should be fixed. Now the free trial users can now choose any path of the 3 paths, of course, that they want to do, but they will be stuck on that path and also, of course, have the other restrictions tied to a trial. They've removed the electric fences in Airy and Owl's Head. They've done a range of scene fixes. They've done some performance fixes like sound fixes and cloth fixes. Some targeting, some movement skills, NPC movement versus master character performance. These should all make performance better. The bank now preloads, so it should load your bank a little bit quicker. And again they repeat that again. There's some bird flock simulations which have been optimised. Now, recalling to players' lots. They've changed it so that when you recall to your player's lot, when you actually enter that scene, your player's lot is already loaded in place, so you can start to interact with your lot straight away, and then the rest of the town will actually start loading around it. So I thought we would have a quick look at that in the game. So I will take my character and use a recall scroll, And we call back to Crossroads. And we go straining away. And here we have the lot already loaded. All of the items you can see are loaded, but if I turn around you can see that the scene is still loading in. The actual lot itself is fully accessible, so we can move in straight away and start interacting, so we're not waiting for the actual lot to load in. So it should make it a lot more smoother for us to play the game. And what else? So we had changes recalling to players. They've changed some of the effects on the Ice and Death shields, some asset optimization to Nightmare Statue, Stone Ruins, Wooden Elevators, Shroud of the Avatar VFX, Light Spell, Bone Steel Crown VFX, Pressure Plate Steel Spike Trap, and the Elysian Illumination. Some other things that have changed is in the crafting. It'll be easy if I show you. So if we go back to our character, and we will just find a spot for him. And if we bring up the crafting window, we can actually see that we now have some extra tiles down here. In smelting, the milling, textiles, farming remains the same, and tanning. Now basically in these skills you've got a batch materials, which as you level that up it gives you the ability to add more items to the crafting session. At the moment you can only do 20. But with this level, actually at 62, it gives me an extra 24. So now I can, instead of just doing crafting 20 at one time, I can now craft up to 44. Now this skill over here is just a speed skill. So the speed of crafting increases. And the bottom one is like a meticulation. It gives you an extra output source. So if you're doing ore in this case, at the level that I am, 41, it gives me 11.1% chance of getting another ingot. So it's going to change the marketplace, I think. It'll be interesting to see what happens with the price of ingots and ore. So as it says, ore refining skill trees have been expanded with new skills to increase overall output of refined materials, not components. This includes butchery, textiles, tanning, smelting and milling. Note that these skills only apply to recipes labelled as refined materials in the crafting book. Batching, which was the first one we looked at, increases the batch count when refining materials. Players start with 20 and can gain an additional 40 at GM, for a total of 60 at the level of 100. The other one was speed, which increases the speed of your refining materials. At GM the skill level will increase it by 20%, and then efficiency increases the chance to gain extra materials when refining materials. At GM the level 100 players get 20% chance gain of an additional materials. The amount of materials gained will vary, roughly 50% to 100% additional output. Then they've changed the way the book looks for recipes and such like. They've tidied it up, made it look a lot clearer. They've taken out proficiency and linked it directly to skill level. So basically we won't see that you need certain proficiency, because it was very confusing that you needed to have 100 or 80 proficiency, and it ended up that you needed 110 skill points to get 80 proficiency. So I've taken proficiency totally out, and it's now all based on skill level. By doing this, you might find that you might not be able to craft some of the items that you might have been able to craft before, but you should quickly be able to craft it once you skill up a little bit more in that level. Refined components now can be added to purchase orders on your player-owned vendors. Fixed strength masterwork. The damage tool indicator is a little bit more clearer. Something called a mossy handle. The drop rate has actually been tripled, but it's still a very rare item. That rare I've never seen one. Bone armor and crossbow durability has been fixed, where the item was not losing its maximum durability. They've added some new icons to agriculture, alchemy, blacksmith, carpentry, field dressing, fishing, foraging, forestry, mining and tailor masterworking. We've got some new recipes and patterns in the game. Because they've added the clans in the game, we've got the Bear Clan with leather armour and headdress, Boar Clan with leather armour and headdress, Dragon Clan with leather armour and headdress, Dual Wax Cylinder Phonograph, a front clasp cloak, and some hanging potted plants, 3 types, the log cabin, the primal bear headdress, the stag clan, leather armour and headdress, a tanning sign, wall mirror and a wall boar trophy, and the wolf clan, leather armour and headdress. They've changed some things to the user interface, so targeting has changed a little bit, highlighting of strength option, locking to the inventory is another interesting tool, because a lot of people were asking for something that you can actually lock your item in your inventory so you don't accidentally salvage it. So if you have a quick look at that in the game, bring it to your inventory, you can now see some lock symbols, and all you have to do is right mouse click and you can either lock or unlock an item in your inventory. This means that when you are salvaging, for instance, then it means that you won't accidentally drag the item across because it will be locked to your inventory. They've added some altitude compass indicators, so if you are in an area where your target is below you, it will show you that it's below or above, of course. And then we go through loads of other things that we've talked about before about the highlighting. Utility bar is now been given and taken away from quest item. Where you're being asked your player's name in the beginning of the game, it's now a clickable on the, so your name will appear, so you can just click on it instead of having to type it out. Item comparisons on merchants now work when hovering over the items in the merchant's window. There's some looting chat messages, so you know when you've actually obtained an item. They've made it a message, so if you accidentally log in with your character's name instead of your username, it prompts you that they are different. Screen resolution can now easily be selected with a slider. There was an error in the bank where it would say your bank is full when it wasn't. They've added some of the, or reapplied some, or reinstated some of the things from the SOTA map, so you'll be able to make your own, if you can log in and make your own notes on the map. So that'll be interesting to have a look at. New maps in the game: Battle of High Vale, Solace Bridge, Blood River Massacre, Hallowed Plains, Catch Ruins, Libris Ruins, Middle Downs, Sequina Colossus and EU. They fixed various maps in the game that were already in there. Map localization has been delayed, and some of the physical goods they've shown some pictures, so the cloth map. the box and the instruction booklet. If you're actually getting those items, asking to verify your address in your accounts area, so make sure you've done that if you're qualifiable for the physical goods. Now the combat maths has been changed, so the game will slightly feel a bit different for some people. I don't think most of us probably will know much of a difference. Maximum movement speed check. I think they added so you could only have 2 effects, 2 speed-based effects, similar to food and 2 potions or 2 blessings. Sorry, they now have limited you to 2 speed movement abilities. If you use the glyph charging, they've made it so that when you click on it, it won't accidentally move. Some people will move in the mouse slightly, and of course the tile will move, so they've locked the tile down whilst you're doing that. Torches are now classed as an offhand bludgeoning weapon with the chance of fire damage. Torch durability, they're saying that a full durable torch should last about 25 minutes. Equipment durability has been rebalanced. They trigger less but give more damage per event, but it should balance out. Light spell has been added to the Path of Courage. There's been some aggro changes, as we talked about in the starting scenes and such like. Body slam charge and engage opponent movements have been increased dramatically, so we should be able to use those to attack targets if you use those abilities. The push and pull resistance, if you're attacking a more powerful opponent, they won't work. Opportunity strike range has been slightly changed. Some other abilities have been changed. This obsidian potion of reclamation, they've increased the numbers to improve effectiveness. Blood graphics have been changed. The earthquake will now cause the screen to shake. Crates and barrels are now lootable in combat. Before we had to come out of combat to loot them. NPCs, when you were talking to NPCs, you were told to sheathe your weapon. It will now automatically do it for you. Just have a quick look down here. This is the one I liked when I read it. Dragons versus pull. Dragons can no longer be affected by movement effects like push and pull. Made me laugh to think that dragons could be done like that. But that goes back up to the top where they were talking about push and pull and more powerful against more powerful targets. There's a few more changes here. Glyph stacking has been fixed. Elysian light illumination and stealth has been fixed. That when you put it away, it used to leave you a little light pattern on the floor. The death shield has been changed. The graphic has been changed. Hamstring won't work against the undead. Some buff calculations have been fixed as well, and a few other things. And they've changed all the potions, the actual pictures of the potions, so they're all individual. So not all health potions look the same, and not all focus potions look the same. So they all have their own particular graphic. Then they've added some wild boars in the game. So, and these are the areas you should see the wild boars in, of different levels. And of course you have the Boar Clan Barbarians. The Raven Clan Barbarians have been removed, and we've got some new wolves in the game. Again, these are the areas we should expect to see the wolves. And new female peasants, and they've added a new special weapon in the game, Ancient File's Scythe, which can be got as a drop from the Lich in Ravensmoor, who is also the place where you can get the source for the Skull Sword. Here again they talk about the patterns that you can get as drops: Bear Clan armour, and the headdress, the boar, dragon, stag, and the wolf clan. Front clasp cloak again. It talks about the boots of virtue, the lunar rifts. There are some emotes in the game which you can go and find. The eye roll, and you can get some fitness emotes. Now, these can be got if you go to your favourite mobile app store, and you can download the Merits app. Now, if you do that, you tie one of your accounts to the app. You can then get a free cloak on that account, and now we're going to get some emotes as well. So we've got the burpee, the plank, the push-up, the sit-up, the squat, and the run in place emote if you actually sign up to the Merits app. There's an I hear you emote, a spin emote. Let's have a quick look down. See what else, some gear fixes, community cloaks, some things. Watermill has been added into the game. Some log cabins. Of course, this is the ornate dual wax cylinder, which should be available in the store. This is the other log cabin. One of them is a quest item, one of them is a store item. Then we have the Viking crafting pavilion. Then we have some obsidian obelisks. And just seeing if there's anything else here. Wall hanging mirror, we've already been through all of those things. We've added some house furniture fixes, so that it looks like we can now put these things out as decorations and such like, and some more fixes. Player towns that have upgraded their size, changed their name, or moved location. And the Make a Difference store items. So, and we get the Release 48 post-mortem telethon items, which include the Ice Elemental statue, the Ice Hot Tub, the Icicle Cloak, the Virtue Cloak and Snowgown, the Virtual Ice Crown, Shield, Sword and Wand. They've added some Valentine's items to the store. And finally, some audio changes have been made to Break Armor, Break Weapon, Crushing Blow, Death Shield, Ground Pound, Knock Back, Knock Down, Meteor Shower, Resurrect Creature, Resurrection, Searing Ray, Shield of Crystal, Summoning a Leech, Summoning a Pet, Taming Creature and Tapping the Soul. And then it goes on to localization. And that is the end of our R50 patch notes. I hope you found it informative. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and also follow on Twitch if you could. And thank you for watching.